Hi, so this is going to be a quick review for anyone who the day that we started our body paragraphs last Friday, they were painting their nails or eating their breakfast or playing video games, or maybe they paid close attention and they just need a review because it's been 3 days since I went over that. So really quickly, I'm going to cover this. Remember, you've got your evidence and you maybe have even started translations and commentary on your outline. So the first thing that you're going to do is to follow along while I model this. You're going to hit enter and tab to indent, right? If you were on your introduction paragraph. So it should look like this, right? This is my introduction paragraph up here. I've hit enter and I've tabbed in. That's the tab button that brings us in like this. All right. Here is my sample essay, and you can see I've done that right here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste my first quote in. Remember, the quote isn't going to be the first sentence of this paragraph, but I think it's productive to get that quote onto the paper. So you're going to go to your outline. You make sure you can find your first quote, evidence quote number 1. And I'm going to select the whole thing. I'm going to make sure the whole entire box isn't highlighted because I don't want to bring the box over. That's going to mess up my formatting. And then when I get back over here, I'm just going to paste it right in. So there's my first piece of evidence. Then I'm going to copy and paste my translation over if I have one. So if your outline is complete, it's going to look like this, right? You just highlight, you bring it over, you hit space, and then you can Control V or edit, paste to get that in there, okay? If you don't have your translation done, you're gonna have to read this quote and make sure that you can put it into your own words. Obierica did not hear the rest of what he said because at that moment somebody touched him on the shoulder from behind and he turned around to shake hands and exchange greetings. And in my quote, I know that I've got Obierica not hearing what Okonkwo said. So in this quote is a great way to start your translation. In this quote, Obierica misses what Okonkwo is trying to tell him because he is distracted by his other friends. Easy. A nice quick translation, right? In this quote, and then I just tell you what happened right here in my own words. I think we all know how to do that, but that's a little review for you. Then I've got to take the commentary. I want the commentary to be 2 sentences. So I'm going to say why it's important, and I'm going to say why it proves my claim. Okay, so I can copy it over. Didn't take the this, so I'm just going to add that. And I'm going to read you what I wrote. This is a significant moment. You need to have this piece at the start of your commentary. It doesn't need to say that. You could change it. It could say this is important. If you don't want it to say this is a significant moment or this is important, it could say this is critical or crucial to understand or to notice, right? You're telling the reader, this is important for you to know. This is important for you to see because Okonkwo is obviously still enraged. Just before Obierica turns away from him, he's explaining that he will fight the missionaries alone if necessary. That's what's really important, right? So I tell them in these sentences what's important, okay? Then I tell you why it proves my claim. Because if Obierica had paid closer attention to his friend, he may have been able to talk sense into him or hold him back before Okonkwo kills the missionary at the meeting, and he might still be alive. Remember, my claim is that Obierica's response to the missionaries leads to the death of his best friend and the loss of the Igbo way of life, right? Obierica fails his friend when he needs him most. So you see, I use this sentence to say why this quote supports or proves my claim, okay? You could say, instead of if, you could say, this proves my claim because if, right? And then you can really see what that last piece of commentary is. Those are all the pieces you need for your quote analysis, but you've got to give your quote a lead in. That's super important, right? Quotes don't float. So I'm going to give myself a lead in here, just like something like in the text, it states. I gave you other examples last time, like Chinua Achebe writes, right? Or in Things Fall Apart, it says. Anything like that would work. So now I've got a lead in for my quote. I've got my citation at the end for my quote. That's important too. And it's in the right format. If you don't know what format to put it in, take a peek at my example here. This is the exact format the citation should be in. All right. Now all I need to complete my body paragraph is a topic sentence. So if I were you, I would read this whole thing aloud to myself if I have space to do it, and kind of make sure I understand what I'm saying and then sum it up in one short sentence. That's the topic sentence. You're going to tell the reader what the topic of this paragraph is. So I'm going to not read it aloud right now because we just did it all together. So I feel like we understand what we're saying here, right? Obieric is not paying attention. His friend is in need. He's failing his friend because he's not supporting him when he needs him. So I'm going to say, when Okonkwo needs him most, Obierica fails to recognize that he is becoming danger to himself and others. Okay? Just kind of sums it up. So now I've got a complete body paragraph. Look at that. That's the whole body paragraph. It's got a topic sentence, right? It's got a quote with a clear lead in and a citation right there. It's got a translation where I translate that into my own words right there. And then it's got the commentary, which not only has a this is critical or this is important or this is significant moment at the beginning, but it also has a this proves moment. Okay, so 2 sentences for the commentary. That's why it's so long compared to the other pieces. All right, so I'm going to go back over to here and just show you what that looks like when we color code it. Okay, so we've got our topic sentence is red. We've got our lead-in, which is this kind of cream color. There it is. We've got our evidence, which is yellow, just like it is on our outline. So if you want to know where to look for it, you look for the yellow. Next comes the translation, which is orange, and then the commentary, which is purple. And we see each of those pieces right here. So evidence, yellow, translation, orange, commentary, purple. These all say number 1 because you were pulling number 1 on Friday. Some of you are there. You did it. There's like 12 of you that are there. You did it. You did body paragraph 1. You are on body paragraph 2. Okay? Some of you just finished the introduction paragraph, which is awesome. You should be very proud of yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Okay? You are on number 1. So you're looking at evidence number 1, translation number 1, commentary 1 today. And that's great. That's perfect. Okay? So let me know if you have additional questions. I hope that this is pretty clear. Things to remember is that you do have to add that topic sentence. Don't forget. Remember, you do have to add that lead in. Quotes don't float. You need a quote boat. All right. So in the text it says or whatever. And then lastly, do remember that you need to provide correct MLA citation, which looks like that. Okay. And yeah, I'm here if you have questions. And I will see you when you return to this Google Meet at 9:15. Thanks.